And good evening, I'm Erin Burnett. Out front tonight, the breaking news. Tiger Woods taken to the hospital in serious condition. The golf champion suffering multiple fractures to his legs in a one-car crash. We know he has undergone surgery. Officials are not revealing how many surgeries he's had in the past hours or whether he is still undergoing surgery as we speak. Officials say Woods was traveling at a high rate of speed when he lost control of his car. It rolled multiple times. The airbags deployed. There was extensive damage to the front end of the car. Officials say emergency crews had to arrive within moments.
We used a Hologon tool, which is a tool used for prying, and we also used an axe to pry him from the vehicle.
He was conscious, and that's the extent of that. There was no evidence of impairment.
Officials telling reporters that Woods was not able to stand on his own when emergency crews arrived. Kyung La is out front live in Los Angeles. Kyung, from what you are hearing, it's pretty clear Tiger Woods is really lucky to be alive.
Yeah, especially when you look at those devastating aerial images of the vehicle and how much damage it sustained in this rollover accident. As of this report right now, Erin, we know very little about his exact condition inside the hospital. The last report we have of his condition is that he was in serious condition as officers pulled up to this terrible accident.
Traffic closes ALS now. Person's trapped. Sheriff on scene.
The emergency dispatch call came just after 7 a.m. Pacific time.
Hawthorne Boulevard. LS radius drive north. Vehicle off the side of the road.
That vehicle was a silver SUV that lay mangled on its side. The windshield broken and gone, its front smashed. Inside was golf legend Tiger Woods.
He was alive and he was conscious.
A Los Angeles law enforcement source tells CNN Woods suffered from non-life-threatening injuries, which include compound fractures in his legs. No field sobriety test was given due to the seriousness of his injuries. Firefighters say he was transported to Harbor UCLA Hospital in serious condition. Weather at the time of the crash, clear. And the roadway?
No skid marks, no braking. So apparently the first contact was with the center median, and from there then cross into the opposing lane of traffic, hit the curb, hit a tree, and there was several rollovers during that process.
The words Genesis Invitational are visible on the SUV's door. Tiger Woods was listed as a tournament host for the event that ended on Sunday not far from the crash site. At the tournament, Woods told CBS Sports he was looking forward to the Masters tournament in April after fighting through 5 back surgeries in recent years.
So Tiger, 7 weeks from today, final round of the Masters. You're going to be there.
Gotta hope so. I got to get there first.
You feel like
a lot of it is based on my surgeons and my doctors, and my therapists, and making sure that I do it correctly, and this is the only back I got.
Reaction across the sports world came quickly across social media and from his fellow professional golfers.
I'm sick to my stomach. It hurts to see one of your, now my closest friends, get in an accident, and man, I just hope he's all right. Just worry for his kids. I'm sure they're struggling.
And shock from the entertainment world. Before news of the crash, 3 different celebrities had posted photos golfing with Woods. Among them, this video from former NBA star Dwayne Wade.
Tiger, thank you for teaching me something.
An iconic athlete who broke barriers both in sports and culture for decades, now faces another challenge. Now, in speaking to reporters, the sheriff said this very easily could have been a fatal crash. The airbags did deploy, and I found this quite striking, Erin, what one of the responding officers said, that he had seen many accidents like this, of this nature, where the passenger and the driver did not survive. What very well made a difference for Tiger Woods is that he was wearing his seatbelt. Erin?
It is just one of those things, right? Those basic things you tell your children, and in this case, it may be the reason he's alive. Thank you so much, Kyung. And I want to go now to Sam Farmer, who has been breaking so many of these details for the Los Angeles Times. Also, Tim Schmidt, the managing editor of Golf Week, and our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta. So, Sam, let me start with you. You have been reporting on this, breaking this throughout the day. What is the latest you're learning?
Well, we at the Los Angeles Times are reporting that Tiger has a shattered ankle. Among his injuries, a shattered ankle, 2 broken legs, 2 leg fractures, including a compound fracture. We've gotten that from a source. So that's the Los Angeles Times.
Wow. I mean, so let me just, before I ask you for more, Sanjay, let me just give you a chance to respond to that. You know, this is the greatest golfer in the world, a shattered ankle and 2 broken legs.
Yeah, I mean, these sound like pretty significant injuries. And on top of that, you know, he's listed in serious conditions. So when you have these types of fractures and a compound fracture in multiple places on the bone, we don't know, and I don't know if Sam knows, if they specifically mentioned if it was the upper part of his leg, the femur, or the lower part of his leg, the tibia and fibula. It makes a bit of a difference in terms of his overall prognosis. But nevertheless, serious injury probably means there was a significant amount of bleeding. That's typically what causes someone to potentially, at least intermittently, have vital signs that are not stable, and that's why they'd be considered serious. But it's more information. It's just hard to know exactly the significance of all of these. If they're all going to need surgery, how bad they are overall. I guess we'll get those details in the days to come.
So, Sam, what else are you able to tell us about what happened? I mean, you know, we understand high rate of speed, no skid marks, so no evidence of any effort to brake. Early in the morning, coming, I guess, maybe from a hotel, but a very upscale, right, the Peninsula of Palos Verdes area, suburban area of Los Angeles. Tell me what you know.
Well, Tiger was in town. As you know, he was the host of the Genesis Invitational, didn't play, but he was in town for 2 extra days doing a shoot for Golf Week, a promotional shoot at Rolling Hills Country Club. And as we saw, the celebrities, David Spade and Dwayne Wade, who played golf with him yesterday, actually didn't play, he didn't hit balls, but he was there for the promotional shoot, and that was continuing today. I know that stretch of road is particularly perilous, so much so that there's a bailout, a gravel truck bailout on the side of the road. And people who drive it frequently have told us that you can get a speeding ticket without even accelerating. It's just that type of slope that takes you down, and you could be going 60, 70 miles an hour pretty easily. Apparently crossed over, obliterated the Welcome to Rolling Hills Estates sign. Our photographer who was there, Wally Scollage, on the site said there was a fluid on the southbound lane of Hawthorne Boulevard, as well as a license plate, and that he narrowly missed a telephone pole, which we can see in the video, before careening up the hill. It's numbingly surreal, this accident, and really hard to believe it's happened.
So, Tim, tell me what you are learning. I see you nodding, sort of part of what Sam is saying here. What are you learning from your sources?
Sure, and Sam, I appreciate it. It was a Golf Digest shoot. I wish it was a Golf Week shoot. Tiger, obviously, the biggest name in golf. But, the interesting part about that stretch of road is it then starts to speed up after where Tiger careened over the median and across the street. So as crazy as this is that we're saying this, it's really fortunate that, he is alive. If this is another thing that happens a quarter mile down the road, an eighth of a mile down the road by Peninsula High School, I don't think there's really any chance maybe that Tiger would still be around. So the fact that that happened where it happened, as painful as this whole thing is, every one of the folks that we've talked to, USA Today folks have talked to on the ground, has said the same thing. I mean, this, in so many other cases, is a fatal injury. So again, that's putting a very smiley face on the whole thing, on a horrific incident.